Hello everyone, I'm Arunima from Knit and Otter, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make an ICord. I'm going to show you two versions in this video. One is a 3-stitch version and a 4-stitch version. So I've used the 4-stitch version in my backpack that I'll leave a link in the description below. So I've used the iCord to make the drawstring of my backpack, but there are a variety of use cases where you can use this iCord, and I think it works up beautifully with this technique. So let's get started.
I'm going to begin by making a 3-stitch cord. I'm going to show you how to make a 4-stitch one also later in this video. But I'm going to start with a 3-stitch cord right now. Start with a 3 chain. So 1, 2, and 3. And at this point, I'm going to now pick up this horizontal bar, yarn over, pull through. That is 2 loops on the hook, and I'm going to do that again with this one. Insert my hook here, yarn over, pull through. So that's 3 loops on the hook. This is going to make a 3-stitch I-cord, and to make this, what you have to do is remove these last 2 loops from the hook. Just have the first one here, then yarn over, pull through. Be careful that you don't lose these 2 loops. Then insert your hook in that first loop after this one, chain, and then pick up that last loop and chain, and keep doing this. So remove the 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, and then pick this one, yarn over, pull through, and then pick this one. So see, I'm having a little difficulty with picking this loop, and that's normal. So what I usually do is I use another tool to make sure that I don't have that trouble. I've also run into issues where I lose that stitch completely or that loop completely, and it slips off that previous loop, and I just have to frog and go back quite a bit to and restart. So to avoid that, what I do is I use a hook. You can use anything. You can actually use a couple of stitch markers. You could use a stitch holder that we generally use for making cables, but I like this because it has this hook, and it sort of keeps the loops in place. I don't know, maybe it's because of this yarn that I'm using, but even with this extra tool, I keep losing these stitches, and this hook helps. And I use a much smaller size because it's easy to pick up and hold stitches in this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 loops and put them here. And one more thing that I like to do is I like to close this last loop tight, and I'll show you why in a little bit. So just close that tight, and that is another thing that I can do because I'm using this hook or maybe even a stitch marker or any other thing. But if I were leaving this loop, I wouldn't be able to pull this tight. So here, yarn over and pull through. So that's a chain, and then pick 1 loop from here, remove it, and then chain and pick up this last loop from here, and then chain. So a quick look at the back here. So you see that whenever we make that first chain here, when I bring this yarn into this one and make that chain, this sort of closes this cord at the back. So if I make this last loop a little tight, that makes sure that this join is really tight, and it's hard to see the join in that case as the I-cord develops. And I'll make a little bit more of this and show you exactly what I mean. So I'm just going to make a few more rows. So here it is after making a few rows, and if I turn it around, you can see that it's you cannot see where the join is. It's very hard to make out unless you actually stretch this, and even by stretching it, it really isn't visible because we pull that last loop really tight, and that makes sure that the join was seamless. So it's nice and clean. It is stretchy, and I really like how this works up. So this is how a three stitch cord works up. I think it might be okay to not use a hook with this because there's just two stitches that we're or two loops that we're leaving, and that we have to pick up. But I definitely recommend using a hook or something or anything else that's convenient for you when you make a 4 loop cord. And I'm going to show you how that works up, and you'll see that it's a lot more difficult to hold these loops without losing them. So after you've made the length that you need this I-cord, you can just keep going and making more and more rows. But after you've achieved the length that you need, all you need to do is yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and that will end your cord. And you can fasten off at this point, cut your yarn, and use the cord wherever you need to. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make a 4-stitch cord. Making a 4-stitch cord is very similar to making a 3-stitch cord. Instead of starting with a 3 chain, you start with a 4 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then pick up this horizontal bar, yarn over, pull through, and leave that loop on the hook. Then do that for the next one, insert, yarn over, pull through, and then do that for the last one as well. So instead of 3 loops on your hook, you will have 4, and you'll be working with 4 loops at once. So for the next row, remove 3 loops, then yarn over, pull through, and then pick up the next one, yarn over, pull through, pick up the next one, yarn over, pull through, and pick up the next one, and yarn over, pull through. So that's all you need to do. So just remove these 3, yarn over, pull through, and you see that I've started to lose these, and it's very hard for me to make sure that I don't lose these. So this is why I always use another crochet hook when I am making a 4-stitch cord. So here, this is really tight. I need to pull it, and there you go. So here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my other hook, and I'll show you what I do. I insert it, and I pick up 3 loops, remove them, pull this one tight, and yarn over, pull through, and then pick 1, pick 2, and pick 3. So I'll just keep doing this, and I'll show you, I'll make a little bit more and show you how it works up. So here, this is how it's looking after a few rows. And if you look at the back, again, it is seamless. You can't see where the join is. It is right here, and it's just closed really tight because I pulled that loop closed really tight. So it's nice and clean. It's nice and stretchy. I really like how this works up. Now to end this I-cord, there are 2 ways to do it. The one way would be just yarn over and pull through all 4 loops, and that would do it. But what I like to do is I like to make another row and just do a slip stitch to bind off. So this is very similar to how I usually do it in Tunisian crochet. So if you're aware of how a bind off works in Tunisian crochet, this would be very similar to that. And here, so yarn over, pull through, so that's the first one. Now pick the second, just like you normally would, yarn over, pull through, so that's a chain, and then also slip this from the first loop on the hook, so that gives you one loop on the hook eventually. So at all times you will have one loop on the hook. So you insert your hook here, pick this loop, yarn over, pull through, so that's a chain, and then slip stitch. And do that for the last one as well. And there's a slip stitch. So that's how I like to end my I-cord, but you could just yarn over and pull through all the loops. That would work as well. So here is a comparison. This is how a 4-stitch cord is looking like, and this is what our 3-stitch cord look like. There's a significant difference in diameter, so if you see that this is also seamless, but you can see that there are 3 stitches which are worked sort of, they look like they're worked in a round, and here there are 4 stitches, and that's how it's looking. So this is, I think it's a very easy technique, and it just takes some time to get used to using another hook maybe to work your cord, but once you get used to it, it works up really fast. So that's all I had for this tutorial. If you have any questions, please let me know, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell button. I have a bunch of other tutorials and free patterns on my blog and in my YouTube channel, so feel free to check those out, and I'll see you in my other videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.